Hello everybody and welcome back to another Fridays with the Ranger video. I'm Ranger Bailey and today I am filming in my room here. There's really nothing behind me, it's very plain. I do have a white closet behind me as well as a white door. But other than that, today I wanted to share a little snippet about the Lewis and Clark, the daily life of the Lewis and Clark expedition. Now this piece of the expedition wasn't really well documented since this piece of history wasn't really well known in the early 1800s. What I would like to talk about today is the dental hygiene of the Corps of Discovery. When you think about the Lewis and Clark expedition, the thought of their regular hygiene or everyday routine really doesn't come to mind. Think about your daily routine. Do you have regular showers? Do you regularly put on a fresh pair of clothes? Now, take that and compare it to what was accessible back then during the Lewis and Clark expedition. Do you think regular baths were accessible at the time, or if they were able to change their clothes every day? And think about dental hygiene. Do you think they thought about brushing their teeth twice a day as we do today? Dental hygiene in the 1800s wasn't a prominent part of daily life for Americans. Unfortunately, daily brushing for Americans didn't come until after World War I, and it wasn't until the 1930s that we would begin to see toothbrushes like we have today. Even though dentistry began in the 1630s, it wouldn't have been the kind of practice you see today. The practice of dentistry in early America would have been likely to be done by a barber surgeon. Yeah, you heard that right. With this, they were able to do multiple tasks like bloodletting, which is a procedure done to withdraw your blood to try and cure disease, or some sort of disease that they think you have. So, from bloodletting to tooth extractions and a shave to even leeching. Can you imagine getting surgery done by the same person who cuts your hair? People who went to their barber surgeons for toothaches were often sent away with remedies we might consider bizarre today. Nitrous oxide wasn't even used until the 1810s, meaning in previous years when you had a tooth extraction, they wouldn't have used any sort of pain medication more likely. But this goes back to the Lewis and Clark expedition where some of the only supplies they brought with them were in a dental kit. But in that dental kit, they were really, the only supplies they really had were tools to extract teeth, unfortunately. Luckily, even with records showing of 2 toothaches along the journey, there wasn't any documentations of extractions being necessary at the time. So, what did the Corps of Discovery do for their dental hygiene if toothbrushes and daily brushing weren't prominent until the early 1900s? Well, what they would use instead of toothbrushes were called twig brushes or chew sticks, which is exactly what you're thinking. And I do have an example to show you today. So this is what a twig brush would have looked like. So they would break off a piece of a branch of a tree, and then they would take the very end that they broke off and peel off the outside layer to give that fray look, just to give the same effect of the bristles of a regular toothbrush. So when the members of the Corps of Discovery felt like they needed to have some sort of comfort of having clean teeth, this is what they went with. And I do have my own toothbrush to show you today just to kind of compare. So my toothbrush is also made out of wood. It's made out of bamboo. So it's light in color. The bristles are black, and the very end of my toothbrush is black as well. So they're not exactly the same, but they both get the job done. Even though dental hygiene wasn't yet best practice for the Corps of Discovery as it is today, they were still able to find ways to help themselves when they felt like they needed a brush every once in a while. And even though no teeth were extracted, I still wouldn't use that as an excuse to let modern oral hygiene go. But what do you think? Would you prefer to use twig brushes and visit a barber dentist? But with that being said, I hope you enjoyed today's video about the oral hygiene of the Lewis and Clark expedition. Stay tuned next time for another Fridays with the Ranger. Bye everyone!